Okay, guys, good afternoon. This is Tasha. I'll just say I apologize in advance if the setup is not the best, okay? Because I'm not looking at the lens, I'm not good at that, and then also the lighting is not the best, but it's not the worst, it's not the best, and we're just going to get right into it. So basically, the topic today is about bullying and our mental health and how they can both coincide and how it's important to heal from our past traumas. For me, I'm just talking about bullying and our mental health because I actually was bullied as a child and I do still get anxiety from time to time. For me, and if I cry during this video, it's a part of the healing process. But for me, as a child, I was bullied. I'll say from around 6 years old to 13 years old, and it was very traumatic for me. I had a guy named Bruce who would punch me almost every day and take my food. And I was a very quiet girl. So, that was not good for my joy, my happiness, my self-esteem, nothing. And to be honest, I felt like even though I never went to therapy for it, but I think that I suffered, I won't say I think, I actually did suffer depression around, we'll say, 11, 12, 13, because I remember my personality had changed and I wasn't as happy, and I was just in my head, in my thoughts, and I just was not myself. But, I was quiet and shy, so I never sought help. I never asked for help. You get what I mean? So I didn't get therapy for that. I didn't get therapy actually until I had my first son, which he's 13 now, because I had postpartum depression, and that's a whole thing. But during my 20s, I had anxiety and I had depression in my 20s, but I didn't actually get help as far as professional help, therapy, and there's nothing wrong with therapy, until, when did I get help? I want to say after the birth of my twins. So that was a lot of years of suffering. I didn't get therapy until after the birth of my twins, who are now 7 years old, and they'll be 8 in October. So that's a lot of years of suffering, not getting any help. And for me, I'm a strong woman, a strong person, so I do a lot of self-healing. I do a lot of, it's going to be okay. And I probably will shed a tear today. But I did a lot of like, okay, whatever, it sucks, I'm going to get over it. But then years and years of that built up, and I started to get anxiety. You get what I mean? I still suffer through that today. Like, if too many things are happening all at once or too many stressful things, I'll get really bad anxiety and I need to keep to myself. Or I'll say, and even though I'm an outgoing person, if there's too much going on around me, and if it's too loud, I get anxiety. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. So yeah, the bullying sucked. I got made up for my gap, which is very interesting because in my profession, I do work as a model. And so one of the things they did was they made fun of my gap, they made fun of my lips, and they made fun of my hair texture. And these are all the things that are celebrated today. And that's another time for another day. The things that you get picked on when you were a child, you get celebrated as you get older. That's a whole new other thing. But I got picked on and for being quiet. I got picked on for loving Harry Potter. I got picked on for every damn thing. It was crazy for me. And so I believe that connected with, because there's a lot of my past traumas that I did not get to heal from. And then of course life is still happening, and as I become an adult and things are still happening, you develop an after effect of all that. You get what I'm saying? And you'll see that in a lot of us. You'll see depression, you'll see anxiety, you'll see bipolar, you'll see, just all different types of, mental health. They call it illnesses, but it's just a mental health thing that happened to you. It's natural. It's going to happen to you if you suffer a lot of traumas or bullying or whatever in your life. It's natural. You get what I mean? And there's a stigma around mental health here in America, and I don't want to dig too deep into that right now. There's a stigma in America surrounding mental health, around bullying, and it's something that should be talked about, because it's not a stigma. It shouldn't be listed as a stigma. It is a thing that happens to humans. It is a thing that happens in this country. It's a thing that happens to children. Our children, happened to me as a child, and even happens to adults every day. We just don't talk about it. We're just like, oh my gosh, I will be considered crazy or weak if I have this or if I have that or if I talk about being bullied. Nobody wants to. These are the things that we have to talk about now. It's important to talk about all of this stuff now because the healing starts today. All of the things that have been surrounding us in this country, one thing after another, it's important to heal. And I didn't even want to talk about, like, you could talk about the inflation. You could talk about who's in office. You can get real political. But what I'm saying is every ethnicity, party, or background in this country has suffered from something. You get what I mean? So now it's important to heal. For me personally and individually, I said that I suffer from anxiety and, I'm still dealing with the traumas of bullying. There might be something out there. You as an individual, maybe you don't suffer from, anxiety or, getting bullied, but it's something else. Maybe it's PTSD. I know a little bit about that too. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you're dealing with depression. Whatever it is, talking about it, getting therapy helps. This is my form of therapy. I did get therapy for postpartum depression. Thankfully, I haven't had depression since, but I did suffer through depression. And this is just what we have to do. Thankfully, I did not cry during this video. I'm a very tough cookie. I hardly ever cry. After I had my kids, I did cry. I gotta learn to pace myself because I can talk. So I'm gonna learn to I don't think I talk really fast, but I tend to talk really fast. But sometimes I wanna learn to I just wanna pause and look at you guys. I wanna pause and talk to you guys because it's not always about talk, because then my mouth's gonna get dry and I ain't got no water with me. But I don't know, hopefully you guys took something from it, but hopefully you guys heard what I had to say. Hopefully someone hears this that needed to hear this, and there will be a lot of videos along the way. Y'all stay safe. You have a good one.